Hello students. Today we are going to study the chapter Saving the Birds, written by James Baldwin. James Baldwin was an American educator and administrator. He was an extremely popular writer and wrote books for children on subjects like legends, mythology, biography, and literature. He wrote over 30 books about famous people in history. He also retold classical tales. This story has been taken from his book 50 Famous Stories Retold. In this chapter, we are going to study about a small incident from the life of Abraham Lincoln. He was the 16th President of the United States of America. So let's get started with the story. One fine day in spring, 4 men were riding on horseback along a country road. These men were lawyers and they were going to the next town to attend court. It had been raining the previous night, making the ground soft and the grass wet. The 4 lawyers rode along one behind another, for the pathway was narrow and the mud on each side was deep. They rode slowly and talked and laughed and were very happy. As they were passing through the grove of small trees, they heard a great fluttering over their head and a feeble chirping in the grass by the roadside. This drew everybody's attention. "What is the matter here?" asked the first lawyer, whose name was Speed. "Oh, it's only some old robins," said the second lawyer, whose name was Hardin. "The storm has blown 2 of the little ones out of the nest. They are too young to fly, and the mother bird is making a great fuss about it." "What a pity! They'll die down there in the grass," said the third lawyer. "Oh, well, they are nothing but birds. Why should we even bother?" said Mr. Hardin. Showing no mercy towards the poor little birds, the 3 lawyers moved forward, and in a couple of minutes they had forgotten about the poor birds. The fourth lawyer, whose name was Abraham Lincoln, stopped by. Unlike the other 3 lawyers, he did not have a heart of stone. He felt mercy on those poor little birds. He got down from his horse and very gently took the little ones up in his big warm hands. They did not seem frightened at all, but chirped softly as if they knew they were in safe hands now. "Never mind, my little fellows," said Mr. Lincoln. "I am going to put you in your cozy little beds." He then looked up to find the nest from which they had fallen. It was much higher than he could reach, but Mr. Lincoln could climb. He had climbed many a trees when he was a boy. He put the birds softly, one by one, into their warm little home. 2 other baby birds were there. They had not fallen out. All cuddled down together and were very happy. Soon the 3 lawyers, who had ridden ahead, stopped at a spring to give their horses water. Much to their surprise, they noticed that Lincoln was not with them. They made a guess that he might have stopped by to help those baby birds. A couple of minutes later, Lincoln joined them. His shoes were covered with mud and had torn his coat on the thorny tree. "Where have you been, Abraham?" asked Mr. Hardin. "Well, I stopped a minute to give those birds to their mother," Lincoln answered. "Well, we always thought you were a hero. Now we know it," said Mr. Speed. Then all the 3 men laughed heartily. They thought it so foolish that a strong man should take so much trouble just for some worthless young birds. "Gentlemen," said Mr. Lincoln, "I could not have slept tonight if I had left those helpless little robins to perish in the wet grass. So, children, we can conclude that Mr. Abraham Lincoln had great sympathy for those little birds in his heart, which definitely made him a hero, at least in the eyes of those little ones. Thank you.